And welcome back. Again, bundled up for the cold right now. The weather's been getting better, but it still sometimes gets cold here. So, just bundle up. Stay safe, stay warm. Stay the goat. Segway. But no, the goat. Sony, I believe this is Sony, right? Sony. Who was the distributor for? I want to say it's Sony. Yes, it was Sony because we had the I remember the logo popping up. GOAT, which is a mix of insert sports film here about basketball, and Zootopia a little bit. Not even a little bit, like Zootopia. Like they don't even explain like the world's just is anthropomorphic animals. It's just anthropomorphic animals playing basketball. But for all that being said, my girlfriend and I made a choice. Like, okay, either we do go on Saturday for Valentine's Day or we do Wuthering Heights. But either way, we're going to go see a movie on Thursday. So we went to see Goat. She had no idea what to expect. I only barely saw the trailers for this. Like, we didn't really we barely got anything for the marketing for this. So the marketing budget's got to be almost non existent. I would be shocked if there was about $30 million for the marketing budget on this. But for what we got, this was a nice little film. It's got laughs. It's got some heart. Um, it's got some good, we'll call it action, sports action, if you will. The character designs are cool. I actually really enjoy the world they have there. It looks a lot like our own, but if you just kind of jungle-fied it, and then you got like things like a hamster or whatever Wayne Knight's character is renting out his garage as a second room. So you definitely you definitely have a world that I like the design of, and like in concept, like other things going forward as well, like uh, their basketball, they're like the major, like the NBA of their basketball. It's all like based on different environments. Like they have to literally change the environment up wherever they go. So you got like a desert one, you got an ice one, you got a lava one. Um, so I do like that as well. And our characters are good too. I enjoy honestly the big draw isn't the main lead. The main lead is just kind of your standard idealistic, hopeful kid. He's good. He's fine. But he's nothing really to write home about. No, the actual like MVP characters of the movie are the Thorns, the actual team that is think words here. The actual team that he goes to play for. I believe it is. Let's see here. Gabrielle Union plays Jet Fillmore, the Panther. I believe it's David Kroll plays Modo, the Komodo Dragon. I think he's supposed to be a Komodo Dragon anyway. David Harbour plays Archie, who's the Rhino. I believe it's Nicole Coulan, who plays Olivia, who is the Ostrich. And I then believe it's what? Lenny Williamson is the Giraffe, played by Stephen Curry. I could be wrong on a couple of those, but yeah, every one of them are just unique and fun in their own ways. Particularly Modo and Archie, the Rhino, the lizard and the Modo. Anytime Modo's on screen, he is just a laugh, right? We're just like he's like it's Slavic, Ukrainian, Russian, Komodo dragon lizard. But he's like completely insane, and like every word out of his mouth or every line of dialogue is and even every action is hilarious to watch. Like at one point, he kind of becomes like, "I want to marry you, Mono. Here, have my skin." There are points in the movie me and my girlfriend were literally laughing so hard we actually had to take a moment. It was very funny. You get Archie, who's like the Rhino with his kids, and it's like, oh, thank God, get me out of here. They're nightmares. But overall, like it's just one of those nice feel good films. It ends very quick. There's like no epilogue to the film. And again, design wise, they do make it look a little different from something like Zootopia. Like if you wanted to make the comparison to Zootopia, you definitely could. Like just looking at the poster here, you would think, okay, this is just Zootopia, but the animation style is not the same. It is very close to the Spider-Verse animation style, but if you compare the two, I'd say there's more detail put into this one. I mean, like actual legit detail, like the fur and all that. Actually, it's basically if you did Zootopia in the Spider-Verse style, minus the comic art and the or comic style in that movie, where like it looks like there's multiple like not pages, but it looks like there's multiple like outlines and stuff like that of the character, like coming off the character or the world. It doesn't look like it's kind of trying to be 3D in this sense, in that sense. But otherwise, it's again Zootopia type characters and a style of Spider Verse, just cleaned up. That's really what it looks like. And that's it works great for that. It really does. I do like too that there really isn't a villain of the film. There is antagonistic characters, no doubt about that. There are villainous actions, but there is no clear cut villain. The closer you get is the main rival, who's this horse, who I believe is Aaron Pierre, who's main attraction in the main Aaron Pierre. And he makes for a good Folly character. He makes for a good antagonist. But the problem is he's only really around in the first act of the film and in the last act. He's not present really at all through the bulk of the middle part of the movie. And then there's another character who's kind of a dick, and who ultimately it doesn't really matter what they do in the long haul. They're fine for what they are, but they're plot relevant to a degree, but they're not a villain. So they're, like I said, there's no real villain. It's more the situation in people's headspaces that are the real antagonists here. People who don't think they're good enough, people who don't want to quit, people who got to be the center of attention. That's more your negative. That's more your villainous focus here. So in that sense, I like that film as the film as well. Also, spoilers: there's no romantic interest in this. You might at points think they might try to make the main character and the Panther a romantic interest, which would be weird. I'm not saying I'd be against it. I'm just saying it would be weird. But no, they never do that. So that's another refreshing bit of movie going where there doesn't even have to be a romantic interest. Now, I am seeing that pop up more and more in movies as of late, but ultimately it's not something that either needs to or doesn't need to be there. It's simply for the plot. It's simply if it makes the plot work, should it be there? And it wouldn't have made the plot work, quite frankly, if there was a love interest here. With that said, I don't think the film is entirely perfect. There are jokes that made me laugh pretty hard, but there's also jokes where I went, "Oh my god!" Like there's a kissing joke involving a parrot that is quite frankly disgusting. It's just gross. But at the same time, too, there's also just jokes where I'm like, okay, kind of cute. And it's not the end of the world or anything. It's just there are jokes that don't work, and there's always gonna be jokes that don't work. More to the point, though, the movie's only an hour and 40 minutes long with credits, which means you're actually looking at a film that's probably more like an hour and a half, really. And if I'm gonna be honest, that first 20 to 30 minutes really feels like they're rushing the dialogue a bit. It feels sped up. So it does feel like it has a pacing issue a little bit in the first act, like maybe 15 to 20 minutes, but ultimately, it's not that big of an issue. It's just something I noticed. Yeah, it really is. It's not that big. Otherwise, it's not, and it's cliched. Be honest, it's got a lot of movie cliches in there, especially sports cliches. So if you can get past that, you'll enjoy the film as well. It's a good family film. We've needed a new family film out. So for how long has Zootopia 2 been out in theaters now? Probably, ever since Zootopia had probably the $1 billion mark. That's when we need a new family film. Well, no, Zootopia 2 had $1 billion within about 3 weeks. So ever since about December, end of December, we needed a new family film, a new animated film. So it's good to have something that's not just out, but also decent. So this hopefully will do well overall. It's not made on a huge budget for an animated film. It's made on between 80 and 90 million. So you're looking at about 85 on average. Like I said, I would be shocked if there was more than 30 million in the marketing for this. So if look, I'll be even nice. I'll round up to 35 to make it even 120. But like I said, I would be shocked if there was more than that in the film for the marketing budget. It was not heavily marketed at all. With that being said, though, if this film manages an ultimate number of around 180, that's profitable. That is profitable. And look, it's very possible. This film doesn't have. Let me get the. Excuse me. Let me get the actual. Let's see. Yeah, let me get the actual list of films coming up before we get our next. Let's see when we get our next animated film. Because if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, I don't think we got an animated film coming out until Mario Brothers in April. No, we do not. So, look, GOAT has all of February and March to clean house financially. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that does. We actually didn't get a lot of trailers for this movie, but we had Minions and Monsters, which I'm not gonna lie, does look cute. My girlfriend just had this look on her face the whole time, like, what? Like, yeah, they sent Cthulhu. Oh, Chibi Cthulhu. He's adorable. And we got the Toy Story 5 trailer where AI is now going to be brought into the equation. I am curious if that's just a setup to lead for the actual movie, if that's not really what's happening, or if that is in fact an actual, like, by the end of the fourth movie, Buzz had become a lost toy on purpose with Bo Peep. So why is he back in the house? That's the thing I'm not 100% sure on. What's going on there? Did him and Bo Peep eventually make it back? Mm-hmm. So I'm actually a little confused on that. They better, if that is in fact what's happening, that he's back with the toys again, they better figure out a way, natural way, because they go, oh, I just randomly found you guys again. Look, you guys are getting lazy then, if that's the case. I'm trying to remember. I've got the Super Mario Bros. Galaxy trailer again. Breadwinner, which I'm sitting there just going, oh my god, this movie is so stupid. Like, did you guys like literally have no way to make this unique? Like, I get the whole role swapping thing. That's been around forever. Mr. Mom. I mean, Mr. Mom is a big one, a famous one, obviously. But there are plenty of other films that have done the whole. Oh, I might have never realized how hard my wife's job was being a mom. I wouldn't feel so against it. I wouldn't really feel so aggravated by it if the setup in that trailer wasn't so effing terrible. The Shark Tank intro is one of the dumbest. First off, is so unrealistic and so bullshitty. Like, wait, no, you brought him out against his will. Like, what the hell, guys? And then you get on his case because you brought him out against his will, and you're not going to insult him after you just denied it. Like, F you! You're not selling this based on. You're not buying this product based on. Which I would have looked him in the face. Going, I'm sorry, you're an asshole. Yeah, can I say it on TV? Can I call him? Sorry, you're an ass. You're a complete unmitigated ass. You're saying you're not going to buy my wife's product based on her pitch because you forced me out here when I didn't want to be out here, and I had nowhere to put this donut. So are you mental? Are you good? So admit this: either you're a terrible business person, or you just didn't want my wife's product, and you wanted this excuse to get out. Just admit one or the other. So yeah, but no, it's like, no, the husband screwed it all up. Like, bite me on that. It's just bite me. God, that intro infuriates me so much. The rest of the movie just looks blah. It looks like a standard comedy where, oh, he's got to be mom now. I probably wouldn't feel so angry at that movie if that intro didn't rightfully piss me off so much. Like, that seems so stupid. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll have a review for Wuthering Heights out probably Sunday because I'll be out with, well, maybe late Saturday because I'll be out with my girlfriend all day. It's Valentine's Day, so we're doing a couple things. We're gonna go see a movie. Gonna have dinner, get crumble. They got their salted cheesecake, caramel cheesecake cookie this week. We both just agreed. Why don't we just get a lot of those? Because none of the other flavors look that good. Anyway, I digress. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.